Shekhar why into getting back that show. And I'm happy that it all happened. You know, we couldn't even believe that we could get somebody like Shah Rukh Khan on the show, Mr. Yashwant Sinha, Sushma Swaraj, masters like Zakir Hussain or Allah Rakha, anybody who was like moving and shaking. Hi, I'm Shekhar Suman and you're watching BollywoodHungama.com. Keep watching.
When I came to know that Movers and Shakers is starting once again, I was extremely happy because that's a show that I think it's a cult show, and we have with us the man himself, Shekhar Suman, who's a brainchild, and he's just making a comeback with that show. Pleasure having you on Bollywood Hungama, sir, first of all.
Thanks.
It's an iconic show, sir, 10 years, and
yeah.
People still remember it like anything, in fact.
Yeah, the good thing is that people never forgot about it.
Exactly.
They always recollect, they always reminisce, they always went back. They had a very strong recall value, which I was surprised.
Right.
Because there have been like a plethora of shows, you know, over the last decade. And there's no reason why people should remember that show. Okay.
Right.
And there's so many channels, so many news channels, so many copycats that sprung up. And so I would be pleasantly surprised when I went along and I met people on the way they would said, Shekhar, why aren't you getting back that show? And for reasons since I am an actor and I had to sort of give myself that space to evolve and do different kind of things, for me it became imperative at that point of time to just move out, leaving the latitude behind that I might just come back to it. All right. And I'm happy that it all happened. All good things happen at the right time. And people often ask me, why didn't this happen before? Because it was not meant to happen before. It was destined to happen now, so it's happening now.
Exactly. In fact, I still remember, Phir Bhi Dil Hindustani was releasing, and Shah Rukh Khan had come on Movers and Shakers. And in fact, he had offered you a role in his next film as well. That hasn't happened, but I still remember the kind of reverence that actors used to have for you. It was a prestigious show. I believe at that point of time you were getting 1 lakh rupee per show. In fact, that was quite a lot of money. In fact,
we are not getting into.
But it was the highest. You were the highest paid anchor at that point of time.
Of course, I mean, you know, we couldn't even believe that we could get somebody like Shah Rukh Khan on the show, or somebody like Mr. Yashwant Sinha, who was the finance minister, or Sushma Swaraj, or masters like Zakir Hussain or Allah Rakha. Anybody who was anybody who was like moving and shaking was on the show. So we had the greatest movers and shakers on the show, which was a great thing, because we started off with just 2 chairs and a single plank. We didn't know which way the show would go. But obviously this was a genre that people had not tried before. It was irreverent, but acceptable in due course of time, when something like political satire people were not acquainted with it. So the initial reaction was of shock and like, oh my God, there is somebody actually taking names and talking about people. But then people realized that they had to be represented by somebody who thought like them. You know, somebody had to be like the common man's voice, the common man's representative. And the whole idea came about when I was to be like so totally impressed by the character, the common man character in R.K. Lakshman's cartoon strip. You said it. And I would often wonder, what if this man had a voice? And that's how Movers and Shakers had come along.
Great. I still remember, as you said earlier, that you took names, and I'm sure quite a few people got unnerved as well, because I believe you've been an ardent follower of Mr. Bachchan since the beginning of your career, and I believe you used to take quite a bit of digs on Mr. Bachchan as well as Abhishek as well. Will we see that happening in this round as well?
See, I'd like to clarify right at the very outset that this show does not have a personal agenda. You know, it's not that what I speak is what I think is Shekhar Suman's point of view. It's a collective mass opinion. It's something that the people of India think. Okay, I just represent that. If I'm not there, someone in my place would be standing there and saying precisely the same thing. Okay, so we have a team of writers, we have a big group of people who, you know, sort of brain bash. We pick up news from the newspapers and then satirize it. You know, we give our own sort of standpoint. So it's not that I have great reverence for Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. We did have like a few jokes at his expense, because the man is too huge, too big to take umbrage to all these things. I think he has a great sense of humor, and I think if you are in a public domain, you would go through the vicissitudes of professional ups and downs, the peaks and valleys.
Sure.
And there would be, you should be prepared to take a bit of criticism. This show is all about celebrating life and not taking life too seriously. If you are not doing too well in life, there would somebody who would come along and pass a smart line, and you should take it with a bit of salt. I mean, they've done it on me all the while. I like to do it to myself. So there is no big deal about taking a joke here and there at your expense, because on one hand, if you're a very successful star and you're confident of your talent, then these things really, don't matter.
Great.